Hello everyone and welcome to this late night, not quite silent but quiet cast between Meekah and GuLe. As I adjust the sound level just a bit, we are going to start with Mumbai in 1.5 minutes, chosen by Meekah. And then we are going to go to Sapienza, season 1 map, in GuLe's home territory other than New York, so it was a very sensible ban by Meekah. GuLe banning Santa Fortuna. Don't really have an opinion about that, but it's the longest map in the trilogy, so nothing ever goes wrong by banning that. 1 more minute until Meekah and GuLe begin their winners bracket round 2 match, if I'm not mistaken. Didn't really have the time to check all the facts and figures, given it's a last minute cast, but I think it is round 2 and GuLe started in round 1 with a forfeit win against Purple Key, and this is Meekah's first match in the tournament and technically GuLe's first match as well. And they will begin with this 3 target map in 40 seconds, and then of course Sapienza is 2 target and the 1 objective. We will see where the potential decider takes us. Of course that means that's only possible if the score is 2-2 and both players either take 1 map or they tie both, which hasn't happened in a long time, just in very early days of Roulette. 5 more seconds and GMT means the Ghost Mode Tournament. GuLe is a 2-time champion of 47 Speedrun community's first live tournaments. It's back in 2019, and I think now I'm getting some sound from the left hand side. I'm going to have some Meekah sounds there as the first spin is here. Wazir Kale, Cleaver as Queen's Bodyguard, Vanya Shah Sniper Rifle as Barber, and Tabu Jengen SMG as Food Vendor. 2 firearms but only 1 large, and all 3 of these can be silenced, or both firearms can be silenced, both firearms can be stolen. The SMGs are famously one-handed from the Bollywood bodyguards, and the Food Vendor is also close by. So it could be a stealing type of spin, but I miss Meekah's loadout, but it's very likely containing a lot of silenced firearms. Very busy day today, as we are just beginning Saturday, just past midnight in Central European summertime, and it is already, I think, match number 5 of 9, 6 of 10, so it's a very busy Friday. We'll be showing, of course, you the remaining matches later on, but for now we begin with some textbook Mumbai isolation on Meekah's side. Maelstrom from Skywalk start, nothing can really go wrong there if it's a KO kill. Now the first actual challenge for Meekah is getting the Barber disguise, and he is looking to distract one of them, and the lady calls the man to investigate. The 1 trank, so it's not a trankless ISO, actually both tranks will be used on this disguise. And even though there are eyes nearby, and I think there are thugs looking up there sometimes, behind that cover it's a very easy grab, and Meekah can approach Vanya now for the sniper kill. Briefcase left behind means that of course the sniper wasn't in there, but we can see the blue item in there, rectangle, sorry about that, which will indicate the agency pickup and no doubt the sniper rifle. And he is going to get the cleaver from the Kashmirian's kitchen. I think that's the shortest way to describe it. And with some panic, one of the residents panicked there, but nowhere near 47, so Meekah still with green guns. Obviously some nice map knowledge there early on. GuLe is basically like all of us at the beginning of the Mumbai career, just so hard to find the right directions from isolation points to lethal melee. I think he's looking towards the Charles as well. He's looking away from the Charles, but he can't really get any part of the kill here because the barber is next to the skywalk, and for me the best cleaver would still be the Charles, but I don't think it's unique. Amputation knife was on the map, but also the cleaver, and he's looking for, he's not looking for the Charles cleaver, he's looking for the one in Vanya's residence, and this can be tied together with the Vanya kill, just would be quite unconventional. So they both got started. GuLe 90 seconds in, Meekah 3 minutes. It's a minute and a half lead, and of course one disguise and one lethal melee already secured by Meekah. Yeah, I was going to say that as far as cleavers go, I think there are 3 notable ones, 2 viable and 1 at the top of the tower. I wonder if there's any reason to go to the top floor. I don't have HITMANs in front of me. If there's one item that's sort of viable there, of course, fire axe is tower only, but bottom floors of the tower. Anyways, it's a hypothetical. Let's see if Meekah can get this very important quad KO. Rima down. 1 bodyguard, 2 bodyguards, and should be safe for Meekah now, and agency pickup so close. That will be the first kill there, and changed into Queen's bodyguard. Can get back to the Maelstrom for 2 kills under 5.5 minutes. The Loud Air is a good shout from the top of the tower. If you want to steal it or use a free one, or you are loadout heavy, which might be possible. I'm trying to think. You want at least 1 item for the Dawood ISO, and then 2 other kills requiring kill items, then you probably end up not wanting to use a slot on the Loud AR, but that's not even for this spin, just basically in story mode as we see the rest of the spin unfold. GuLe a lot of walking, no brick lure yet, and Meekah is waiting to conclude this lure, KOing the food vendor. KOing the food vendor and waiting for Dawood to be in the spot. Joker J with the claim that this could be Recce spin. If the Recce spin is indeed 7 minutes and a couple of seconds by Phanium from RR8, and I know it's from Phanium in RR8, then this is going to be close. 7:10 is the record to beat. And we will see this isolation. If Meekah doesn't KO too early. Meekah with the wrong disguise. Meekah with the wrong disguise. And the instant pause and restart. This is so unfortunate by him. 6 minutes and 50 seconds into the spin, so not quite possible to get the record by then, because working to the Maelstrom is still a half-minute adventure. But he realized immediately and sadly have to be a restart, but he has this 7 minutes stretch solid, and compared to the right hand side, GuLe inside the chain yard, not using the conventional blickler there. The crime noticed. It's a green gun. Crime noticed. Can't say I've seen that before. I mean, let's see if let's see how it's cannot be a V mod moment. Crime noticed usually means the exclamation mark appears on the NPC's head, right? And if you are in the right distance, then they can't really connect it to you always. So I guess they saw the throw but didn't see the body. sort of hard to conceive how GuLe still has a run going, but he still has a run going and still has the advantage. 4 minutes in game time wise. Of course, Meekah's disadvantage doesn't mean that he's that much behind, because the Canadian is really streamlined towards this approach. Straight to the cleaver, then the Brickler, quad KO for the Anya kill, then the Dawood isolation, and then back to Wazir. Thank you Colored Lonely, who said CJ explained that in 2016 the NPC saw the crime, but he didn't saw him do the crime, so he can't connect the dots, and lack of knowledge by the NPC is basically the reason why GuLe is saved. But it was so close, considering the foliage, that kind of, not just the throw was seen, but I guess the wrench landing in the guard's head. But still good for GuLe, who now has the amputation knife, which was highlighted in his hit maps the whole time, but the real reason he needs to be here is the cleaver, and I think it's behind him. Yeah, just need to open this door. Luckily it's open. Queen's bodyguard is allowed everywhere, just has a few more enforcers, and that's the Wazir kill. The shopping finished because he has the disguise and he has the item now as well. Meekah 3 minutes into his run, basically what he did the last time as well. It's very straightforward, not much you can speed up here, just need to be secured that you have a solid strat and it cannot fail with RNG elements or uncertain parts, and Meekah has done that perfectly. He will have this quad KO in the next minute, as well as the kill, and can head straight to Dawood. GuLe changing into Queen's Guard, that's not tied to any of the kills, which is why it's a bit concerning that now he's leaving the area to catch the Maelstrom. Hopefully that doesn't mean anything for the future. He's checking out the spin and hopefully notices that it's Queen's bodyguard. Different disguises, different colors, different trespassing properties, but he's heading straight to the Maelstrom as the Queen's Guard. Of course, that can still mean a couple extra things. So let's see what happens there. Meekah with Vanya down again, very solid. Taking all those crowbars back, because you never know when you want to use them. Luckily not too many closed doors in Mumbai, at least not ones that are relevant. And GuLe is getting closer and closer to the Maelstrom, and unless he left the Queen's bodyguard in here, which is not likely in his run, it could be trouble, but he's not going for the Maelstrom, he's going for the Barber. He's looking to get this back and forth and get the Vanya kill in her chain yard, and then take the Queen's bodyguard disguise. Okay, that's better for his run, the chance in his run. Yeah, I cannot answer that, Dinard. Dawood is coming. Late distraction for the food vendor, and Dawood is stopping there. Not quite sure if he's able to distract everyone there. That's the last chance for the food vendor to move, but he doesn't. They see the throw. Ooh, one of the guards is lagging behind. Bit more delays there, but as long as he gets the snail on the 3 guards, it could be salvageable. What will the food vendor do? There's still the jank. That's very nice for Meekah. Possible good backup if he has an angle so that he's not seen. A late target lockdown. And luckily Davud wasn't seen by the food vendor, so that's basically the spin down. Because changing into food vendor and eliminating him as with really any SMG would work here, even the loud one, just shoot and dump. Get the second kill and now just a cleaver to go, or the secured from the Charles. And I think some of the crows might be in forces here, but even if that is the case, then just a bit of cycles to wait. These are fine to get. The Maelstrom will be very easily eliminated, and then I think GuLe has the coins, so Meekah will be exiting both in just under 7.5 minutes. Basically doing the spin twice, unfortunate for him, but still quicker than GuLe, who is now looking to get the second disguise. Well, he's on no kills, but he has already had the cleaver, the bodyguard. Just a bit too slow with shopping for disguises, and Meekah will take his own pick, as well as the lead here. $17 past the hour where I am, so 22 past the hour for Sapienza. Featuring very loud keyboards, I assume, but it's necessary as I am the game admin here as well, and I'm just going to put this one in here. There are some developments from other matches here, but always nice to hear some confirmation from fellow match admins that the spin is legal. It is, obviously is, but the thumbs up is all that you want to see there, because that means that you can very safely put it into the system. Traveling to Sapienza, chosen by GuLe. 4 minutes until that, and this is the reason why Sapienza was chosen by GuLe. Wouldn't be surprised if this is his most played maps, and that we can figure out by checking out RR stats. 10 spins in Sapienza, and it's actually his second most, because of course it is New York, his most played one. Can really remember streams from last year where he was practicing New York for his picks, his matches, just grinding those New York spins, so definitely makes sense that it is his most picked map. Sapienza close second there, but in general, GuLe basically one of the OGs of Hitman, of the community of competitive Hitman, and just speedrunning from, at the very least, the beginning of season 1. Nice Meekah getting shocked by the reasons he have to be there. I will try not to get distracted by that too much. What I wanted to say is that GuLe is obviously most familiar with the season 1 maps. He is from the time when these maps were released every couple of months, which is the famous episodic model. Didn't come back for Hitman 2 nor Hitman 3, but that obviously gave plenty of time for the old speedrunners, the OG speedrunners, to practice those maps and just get familiar with the maps. So curious if we can see something fancy from GuLe with all the time he spent in the Amalfi Coast. They were thinking about episodic for HITMAN 3. That's news to me. That's interesting to hear. I assume that there were plenty of things going down during the Epic deal and whatnot. and of course, that would also mean that Dubai would be only available for Dubai would be the only map for a couple of months, and that is something that is not the best thought to have. We did get our 5 maps in HITMAN 3 as well as the train finale, and now I guess we have 6 replay viable maps with Ambrose Island, and I'm just holding out a tiny hope that I'm part of the conspiracy group who thinks the Ether pamphlets will mean something in the future, at least just the one snowy map that was basically teased all trilogy with all the snowy suits. Just putting this out here for everyone watching that I have hope, maybe a foolish amount of hope, but we already got, of course, the free Ambrose Island. This map does not have Ambrose Island as maps number 1 or 2. It is not picked nor banned, so it can be the decider, but for that GuLe needs to win this second map, which will start in 5 seconds. And just in time for this, Silvio Caruso allowed SMG as housekeeper, Francesca De Santis flawless bi-lap security. GuLe with the traditional 10+ second delay. He got the spin as well, just 2 targets. A bit easier to remember. The very few times I had to play with one monitor, it's such a first world problem to have, but it takes a while to remember these conditions at the same time. And GuLe is off to planning as well. Silvio loud, and Francesca an interesting accident. Fall has caused some not so fair, I wouldn't say it's unfair either, but not the greatest rips, because you can't dump her out of the office and have the body seen while she's falling down. I think I've seen, oh my god, I don't want to estimate, but if I saw 10 friendly fall spins, then I've seen it twice that it has caused red guns, so it is possible, and hopefully it doesn't hurt either players here. Meekah's the first in, and this is, as chat is very excited, a lap start, a lap viable spin, or he has the first disguise, and Meekah has a lot of time to do some planning, which I think mostly means that the virus is set up remotely. Places it on the laptop, which... oh, one moment. Place it on the laptop, which I guess depending on angle can be seen and picked up by the researcher, but this was a very confident move by Meekah. I don't think the technician should see there, although this is the first time Meekah is playing Sapienza in Roulette Rivals. Obviously we could still merge these stats with Roulette League, where he has played 10 matches in Division 4, but I don't know how many Sapienzas he played there. Obviously it's not a whole new map to him, but not that much experience. Still, let's consider that a first objective setup. The virus will now be eliminated or destroyed remotely, and now it's 45-second wait for Meekah until that 2.5 minute threshold. GuLe is in after some extra planning. Lab start, lab agency pickup, and I think that is the brine damaged SMG on Meekah's side, because I did see a one-handed SMG in his hands. And GuLe did what I would do, is just try to hide the EMP as much as possible. And that will be definitely able to be detonated in 2 or 3 or 6 minutes. And it's now time for Meekah to get that KO, jack her to a window, and he's not doing the closest window, which is notorious for giving red guns some of the time. And this should be a much safer one. But this will mean something else. Let's see if we can get to that. And yes, you could see on instinct that the housekeeper and the mansion staff did see the falling body, but this time it's red guns. You can see it on the minimap, and I wonder if they will start running anywhere, because that can happen, but they stay right there. The card has contained the situation, so I don't think anyone should be moving around there. I'm not exactly sure where that body will be dragged. It's now time to get the second disguise when Meekah is hopefully not going for the mansion stuff. It should be a free disguise in this side room. He can get this KO from right here. It's not the... Meekah goes exhausted with the snail. Cannot rip to that. There are free housekeeper disguises closer to Silvio. One in the basement next to or near the green plumber, and one would be next to the DNA virus inside the ship. It's not as viable, but could have been a tiny bit quicker from Meekah, but still, that's the setup. One-handed SMG ready to be used. The two guards are calmer, so all he needs is shoot and dump and get out, and you will get some push there if you're not as quick. But that's both kills down, and Meekah can really detonate this EMP at any time. And just over 5 minutes into his first run, just over 6 minutes into the spin, Meekah will secure the 4-0 win. There's a finished already. And there is... Now it's hard to say, it's not in 47 seconds, but GuLe is not as much behind with the virus destroyed, but basically it's insurmountable lead by Meekah, despite or regardless of who loads in for how long. Meekah takes Sapienza and sweeps 4-0. Results are sent to Challenge, so let's see if I can... Oh yeah, I can't interact with this ahead of time, so I guess let's just transition to the brackets. It is the match at the very top of the brackets. Meekah was given the very random draw, the number 1 seed, so he will be the first player for as long as he's in the winner's bracket. And Meekah is now in the first match of round 3, playing a Daniel 1RD. And whoever wins that will face me, so that was slightly significant match for myself, so I'm glad I was able to cast it. As far as the rest of the matches go, Champion versus Max Masters resulted in a forfeit, so there is no upcoming match or no currently going match. There are plenty of upcoming matches, and the Jotes will take you through the night session Brain Fixer versus Supreme Commander Ike, if that match is also happening. Phaneum versus the Reaper 47. These will be starting in 1.5 and 3.5 hours before the Saturday action begins. So that should be it from this match, GG's to both players, and congratulations to Meekah for advancing. I feel bad for not mentioning that this is a double elimination bracket, so GuLe has an opponent in the lower bracket. Instead of just changing scenes back, I'm just going to let you know that GuLe is going to earn another bye, and then we'll play the loser of the Matty Spice Max Masters match. There are a couple forfeits to iron out here, so I guess it's not even that bad that we didn't show the loser bracket there. But of course GuLe has a future as well as Meekah in the winners bracket, and I have already told you about the many matches later tonight and tomorrow, so see you on one of those matches, and thanks everyone for watching.